All right, now that we have a fairly basic understanding of tables, let's go into it a little bit more. Now, what if I wanted to add more and more data to this table? Why I put a TH here, should be a TR. But what if I wanted to add more and more data to this table? Well, I'm essentially just going to keep adding rows and changing up my data. So instead of Joe Smith, we have Jane Jones, and then Jane's phone number is 654 or 645. All right, and now it's just going to keep going, and we can copy and paste more and more rows. Well, what if I want to now add a spot for email? Well, that gets a little bit more tricky because I have to, if I want to add an email column, I have to add my column one row at a time. So right here, I'm going to create another table header and make that for email /th. And then I need to come down here, add my table data, email, and we'll say TD, /TD. And, oh, not email. We want to have this say Joe Smith at gmail.com and such on and so forth. And then this one is going to say Jane Jones 15, or we'll say 25. All right, and if I want to keep adding data, I have to add more and more things to my rows. All right, and then notice how in this row I have 3 pieces in there. In this row I have 3 things, and in this row I have 3 things. This should always match. If I have 3 things in this row, I should also have 3 things in this row. Well, I want us to go over one more thing. What if I wanted to call my table, what if I wanted to give my table a title? So I'm going to add a table row here at the very beginning, and I'm going to call this students. Now, let's not call it students. Let's call it teachers. And I keep typing wrong. So we want to say TH, teachers, and /TH. Okay. So this is for teachers, but notice how teachers only takes up the row that it belongs to. I'm sorry, the column that it belongs to. Notice how our teachers, even though there's only one thing here, it's still going to fall in line in being the first column. Well, if I want my teachers to span the entire row, I need to do what's called a column span. So we'll say col span equals, and then we have 1, 2, 3. So we should say a 3 there. Now if we run this, if Replit wants to load, it should, let's refresh our page here. Replit's being a little slow. Okay, there it goes. Now notice how our teachers spans all of the rows, which is nice to have. Well, what if we want to reverse this table? So what if I want like everything to be, all my headers to be right here, and then all of my data to be over there? Well, that's easily done. It's just a matter of thinking about it. So what I would do is let's create a new table. And we'll say table, or we'll do our closing table tag of table. Well, and then like I said, I want to reverse this so that my headers are right here, or kind of rotate at 90 degrees, not reverse it, but have my headers here and then all of my data on the side. What I'm going to do is I'm still going to create my rows, and this is still a 3 by 3 table, so I still need 3 rows. So table row and /tr. Now, to save myself time, I am just going to copy and paste till I have 3 rows. All right. Now, I want my headers to be the very beginning part of my table, or my first column. So what I need to do is I need to add my headers to each row individually. So I'm going to say a th here, and then we'll say name. We'll do a closing th. And then I'm just going to copy and paste and kind of speed our process along here. If you need to slow the video down, you're welcome to. So we had name, phone, and email. Now notice how by doing this, I accidentally put that in the wrong spot. There we go. Okay. Notice how by doing this, all of these are now in this first column, and then I'm going to put the data spanning this way. Well, our first name was Joe, so we'll copy Joe. And then our second name was Jane, so we put Jane. All of this is in my first row. Notice how this is now causing a row, whereas before they were in a column, so they're now in a row.